Please like the video and share it so that it reaches many more people and you get sawaba, or rewards from Allah. This could be a sawabe jariyah or continuous reward for you long after you are gone.
Volume 5, Book 58, number 213. Narrated by Aisha. Habiba and Salama mentioned a church they had seen in Ethiopia, and in the church there were pictures. When they told the Prophet of this, he said, "Those people are such that if a pious man amongst them died, they build a place of worship over his grave and paint these pictures in it. Those people will be Allah's worst creatures on the day of resurrection." Volume 5, Book 58, number 214. Narrated by Khalid bint Khalid. When I came from Ethiopia to Medina, I was a young girl. Allah's apostle made me wear a sheet having marks on it. Allah's apostle was rubbing those marks with his hands, saying, "Sana. Sana," i.e., good, good. Volume 5, Book 58, number 215. Narrated by Abdullah. We used to greet the Prophet while he used to be in prayers, and he used to reply to our greetings. But when we came back from Najashi, the king of Ethiopia, we greeted him while he was praying, and he did not reply to us. We said, "O Allah's apostle, we used to greet you in the past and you used to reply to us." He said, "Verily the mind is occupied and busy with more important matter during the prayer, so one cannot return one's greetings." Volume 5, Book 58, number 216. Narrated by Abu Musa. We received the news of the departure of the Prophet to Medina while we were in Yemen. So we went on board a ship, but our ship took us away to Najashi, the Negus, in Ethiopia. There we met Javad bin Abi Talib and stayed with him till we came to Medina. By the time when the Prophet had conquered Khaybar, the Prophet said, "O you people of the ship, you will have the reward of 2 migrations." Volume 5, Book 58, number 217. Narrated by Jabir. When Negus died, the Prophet said, "Today a pious man has died. So get up and offer the funeral prayer for your brother Ashama." Volume 5, Book 58, number 218. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah al-Ansari. Allah's apostle led the funeral prayer for the Negus and made us stand in rows behind him, and I was in the second or third row. Volume 5, Book 58, number 219. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah. The Prophet offered the funeral prayer for Ashama, the Negus, with 4 takbir. Volume 5, Book 58, number 220. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. That Allah's apostle informed them, i.e. his companions, of the death of Negus, the king of Ethiopia, on the very day on which the latter died, and said, "Ask Allah's forgiveness for your brother." Abu Hurairah further said, Allah's apostle made him, i.e. the Muslims, stand in rows at the Masala, i.e. praying place, and led the funeral prayer for the Negus and said 4 takbir. Volume 5, Book 58, number 221. Narrated by Abu Hurairah. Allah's apostle, while going out for the battle of Hunain, said, "Tomorrow, Allah willing, we will encamp at Kaif Bani Kanana, where the pagans of Quraysh took the oath of Kufa against the Prophet, i.e. to be loyal to heathenism, by boycotting Banu Hashim, the Prophet's folk." See Hadith number 659, Volume 2. Volume 5, Book 58, number 222. Narrated by Al-Abbas bin Abdul Muttalib. That he said to the Prophet, "You have not been of any avail to your uncle, Abu Talib, though, by Allah, he used to protect you and used to become angry on your behalf." The Prophet said, "He is in a shallow fire, and had it not been for me, he would have been in the bottom of the hell fire." Volume 5, Book 58, number 223. Narrated by Al-Musayyab. When Abu Talib was in his deathbed, the Prophet went to him while Abu Jahl was sitting beside him. The Prophet said, "O my uncle, say, None has the right to be worshipped except Allah, an expression I will defend your case with, before Allah. Abu Jahl and Abdullah bin Umayyah said, O Abu Talib, will you leave the religion of Abdul Muttalib? So they kept on saying this to him, so that the last statement he said to them, before he died, was, I am on the religion of Abdul Muttalib. Then the Prophet said, I will keep on asking for Allah's forgiveness for you unless I am forbidden to do so. Then the following verse was revealed. It is not fitting for the Prophet and the believers to ask Allah's forgiveness for the pagans, even if they were their near relatives, after it has become clear to them that they are the dwellers of the hell fire. 9.113. The other verse was also revealed, O Prophet, verily, you guide not whom you like, but Allah guides whom He will. 28.56. Volume 5, Book 58, number 224. Narrated by Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, that he heard the Prophet when somebody mentioned his uncle, i.e. Abu Talib, saying, perhaps my intercession will be helpful to him on the day of resurrection, so that he may be put in a shallow fire reaching only up to his ankles. His brain will boil from it. Volume 5, Book 58, number 225. Narrated by Yazid. As above, Hadith 224, using the words, will make his brain boil. Volume 5, Book 58, number 226. Narrated by Jabir bin Abdullah, that he heard Allah's apostle saying, when the people of Quraysh did not believe me, i.e. the story of my night journey, I stood up in Al-Hajr and Allah displayed Jerusalem in front of me, and I began describing it to them while I was looking at it.